Hey guys, this week's project is not quite micro crochet, but it's certainly on the smaller scale than usual. This week I will be making some little amigurumi items to put into a snow globe type object. Just go with me on this one. It'll make sense, I promise. So with that said, let's get into it. For the materials, I have some yarn in this glorious red and of course some white. I also bought this empty snow globe with a screw bottom opening, and it's a medium-sized globe, which is the perfect size for this. I also used a few more items, but I will list everything that I ended up using in the description box below. Before I got started with the crocheting, I wanted to prep the globe first. I unscrewed the cap and removed the paper piece inside the cap to use as a template. I traced round it onto a magnetic sheet and then cut out the circle. I want my snow globe to have swappable or interchangeable but stable contents, and so magnets are the key to this concept. How do they work? Who cares? They just do. All jokes aside, the magnets will all work together cohesively, I hope, but with the magnetic sheet cut to size, I just push fit it back into the base of the cap. Matching the magnets inside the amigurumi will help secure them onto the cap, so that when you shake the snow globe, nothing should move, in theory. I also then did the same thing with a thin piece of quilt batting. Just thick enough so that the black sheet won't be too visible, but thin enough so that the magnets will still work. Essentially, the batting is light enough for the magnets to still be effective, and it also helps it look like there's a snowy field. With the base all prepped, I set it all to one side and went to work on the crochet elements of the project. I started off crocheting a snowman, which I began by crocheting a circle and then carrying on until it formed a small ball. I paused to insert a magnet into what would become the bottom of the snowman. I actually had some scrap cotton material, which was perfect for this, because you literally only just need a tiny bit. I just glued the magnet onto the scrap material, cut off the excess material, and then glued this inside the bottom section of the snowman. The material is there to keep the magnet in place so that it doesn't move when I proceed to stuff it. After stuffing the body lightly, it was time to add the arms. I made 2 of them off camera, and I just made 2 simple tubes of white yarn with the red gloves, and then crocheted them into place. As I did that, I added a very small piece of armature wire to make them posable. Alternatively, you can actually use just simple pipe cleaners, because that would actually be better and less finicky, but I've got a ton of wire and I might as well use it. All that was left now was to finish crocheting the head, insert some safety eyes and add a nose. I also went ahead and crocheted a little red scarf for him and sewed on little buttons using some black yarn. Finally, I added a top hat for the finishing touch, and the snowman is complete. To make the Santa, I pretty much did the exact same thing as with the snowman, only with different colours. I began with the red yarn and did colour changes with the white and black yarn, and then back to the red again to get a rough approximation of that ideal Santa bod. Yeah, and then I attached the arms in the same way as the snowman before finishing off the head while inserting the safety eyes. Before I finished off the head, I did some surface crocheting just along the white line to just give it a bit more definition. I then made a tiny hat for my Santa, sewed on his belt buckle and made the cutest little beard I've ever seen. I then sewed on all the components, but for the hat I decided to glue on a tiny little pom-pom. You might remember these pom-poms from when I made the clown. I have a ton of them and I thought I might as well start using them up. So I chose the tiny white pom-pom and just glued it to the top of the Santa hat. That's mini Santa complete and he looks super cute. My third character was an angel, and it was in a similar fashion. However, instead of a round body, it was more of a cone shape. Using a soft peach yarn, I began by crocheting a flat bottom and placed a magnet at the bottom of this circle. I then decreased in each round as I crocheted to the height I wanted. Again, I added the arms when I got to the neck area and then finished off with the head. I wanted to have my angel with closed eyes, a la Sleeping Angels, so I embroidered them on instead of using the safety eyes. For the hair, I made a tiny wig cap and sewed it into place. I then added wings by using this shiny sparkly faux leather material that I got in a pack a while back. I first made a paper template and cut out the 4 pieces. Firstly, a front piece and a back piece, then flipping the template over to do the mirrored version. I then sewed the wings into place and my angel is complete. I also made a tiny halo by just stringing up some 8-0 beads into a really thin gauge wire, and then I'm just going to attach that to her head. We're so nearly done, guys, just bear with me for a little while longer. I need to add the finishing touches though, so since I'm not filling my globe with any fluid, I just added some glittery styrofoam balls to act as my snow. I also used some ribbon to add as trim around the edge of the cap. You could use some decorative washi tape as well instead, or you could also crochet a cover for the cap. It's entirely up to you. So while I glue on the ribbon to the cap, I'd just like to say thank you for watching, and of course, if you'd like to see more, then please like, share, comment, and even consider subscribing. If you are feeling generous, then also please consider buying me a cup of coffee on Ko-fi. The link to my Ko-fi page will be included in the description box below, and any and all donations will be greatly appreciated. And don't forget to hit that bell button to be notified whenever I upload a new video. And with that, here's my adjustable Christmas trio snow globe, my tinsel trinity. Enjoy the beauty shots, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!